Hey everybody, you're watching CAD Roll Hunter, and today we got a box of $1,000 of $2 coins. These are Canadian Toonies. We are coin roll hunting. We want to see if we can find anything cool, commemoratives, colorized coins, and we're hoping that we don't find any fakes, which is something that hasn't happened in years for me. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, this is James and you're watching my channel CAD Roll Hunter, and it has been years since I've been able to hunt a $1,000 box of Toonies and not found a fake Toonie. They are everywhere. I asked that question on my last Toonie hunt and I found fakes. I'm going to ask it again today. I hope I don't find fakes. I'm probably going to have to keep asking that question for a while because they are everywhere. We believe there are probably millions of fake Toonies in circulation. That looks like a real Toonie on the end. So we're going to get into these rolls and see if we can actually break the curse of the fake Toonies. Of course, we could also find silver Toonies. Now that would be even more rare than fake Toonies, but far more valuable. Very cool. The Mint made special collector versions of the Toonie that were in silver. It would be awesome to find one. I've never found one, but I know people who have. So it is possible. Let's start with this roll and see how we do. So of course I'm going to bring you in if I find anything cool, but I'm also going to bring you in if there are things that you should be looking for if you're looking through Toonies. I got a 1996. This is the most plentiful year of the Toonie. This is the first year of the Toonie. We want to look for some die varieties. We're going to pull it up and we are looking particularly for the polar bear smoking a cigar. Yep, you heard that right. It's a little die chip right at the polar bear's mouth here. The polar bear with a horn. That's a die chip over the head of the polar bear that looks like a horn, almost like a unicorn. And then we're looking for the no ice variety where we don't see these lines, the ice in the water behind the polar bear. I don't see any of those here. I have found two of those three. I found the no ice variety and several of the cigar, but I've never found the horn, and I'd love to find one. This is the 2000 Knowledge Toonie, another one with several varieties you want to look for. We'll throw this one under the scope. First of all, we're looking for die chips, and the first one we're going to look for is on the date 2000, and it's called the Pedestal Zero, and it's a little die chip that you would see over here. I see a little something there, but that is pretty small, and that does not appear to be it. It's actually going to be bigger and maybe a little bit further to the right, and that is one we're looking for. The other side, we're going to flip it over, and we're looking on the word dollar, and we're looking for the Pedestal D, a die chip at the base of the D, which we don't have here, or the Pedestal S, which is a die chip on the S, which we don't have here either. But I have found several of each of them, so you can definitely find those ones. And just to give you a sense of how plentiful the 1996 is, 9 of the 25 Toonies in that first roll were actually 1996s. So pretty considerable, more than any other year, of course. We're going to find a commemorative in roll number 2. It's going to be a black ringed Toonie. That was a 2022, and it was a solemn tribute to the life and reign of Queen Elizabeth after she passed. And it's pretty stark contrast between this one and any of the other Toonies, so they certainly stand out. You're not going to miss that one. Black Ring Toonie, we'll throw that one on the board as our first find of the hunt. Still in roll number 2, and there is our very first colorized Toonie here. This is the Summit Series, 50 years of the Summit Series. This is a 2022, commemorating that series between the USSR and Canada way back in 1972. That is a great one to find. Our first colorized Toonie of the box. Very last coin of that roll. It's a 2014 commemorative for Remembrance Day. This is the Wait For Me Daddy. You can see a son there trying to reach out to his dad as he's going off to war. And that is in pretty nice condition for a 2014, I have to say. We'll set that aside. Roll 4 will give us our second black Toonie. Check that out. That's just, every time I see it, it's so striking. Of course, I did see it by the edge when I opened up the roll, but I just wanted to see what else we had in there. We'll put that on the board. And I see that we've got another 2000 here, so we'll check that under the scope. We're looking first at the 0, nothing there. And that S looks pretty clean, as does the D. Very last coin of that roll. This is a really nice one here. This is a 2006. It is the 10th anniversary of the Toonie. It's in great shape. Look at that, 1996 to 2006. And it looks great. And that is the bear Churchill that is featured on the Toonie. They had a naming contest, and that's what they came up with. That was the successful entry. But this one looks great. I'm certainly going to hold that one aside. Absolutely. Roll 5, there's a nice one. This is the 2017 Dance of the Spirits, and this one's in really nice condition too. This one also has the colorized version, the glow in the dark Northern Lights. I love that one. We're always looking for it, but I rarely find this version, the non-color version, in this kind of condition. This looks great. Well, I got excited for a quick second. Here is a 1996, and you can see something on the top of the polar bear. For a quick moment, I wondered if I had the horn. I realized pretty quickly, though, I didn't. I pulled up a picture. It's just not quite in the right spot, and it's not quite as pronounced enough. So I think what we've got is just a little bit of damage, a scratch there. What we're looking for is more pronounced. Look at that horn there. This is from the Saskatoon Coin Club. They've got some great resources on here, including this picture that you can use to verify if you've got what you're looking for. In this case, it's close, but no cigar, or in this case, no horn. I just opened up roll number 7. You got to see this beauty right here. Check out this 2000 Knowledge. It is brand new and gleaming. We're definitely going to want to take a look and see if we've got any of the varieties. Certainly not the Pedestal 0. We'll flip it over. If we can find one of the Pedestal D or S in a mint condition, that would be fantastic. Not on the S and not on the D, but it is a beautiful coin. Absolutely a keeper. That is gorgeous. Wow. Same roll. We can see we've got a couple of commemoratives here because of the different obverse. Either of these could be a colorized coin. They're certainly commemoratives. We'll flip it over and see if I can get it over. Oh, that's a beautiful 2015. Look at that. And that is John McCrae writing Flanders Fields. This is a gorgeous one. I wasn't expecting one that's 10 years old there. How about this next one? Same coin. Look at that. Just gorgeous. Definitely a couple keepers. Roll number 9, and we're going to get the non-color version of the Summit Series from 2022. That is limited to just 1 million minted, so that's a hard one to get for sure. We'll put that right there with its buddy. So as we were approaching the midpoint of this hunt, I was starting to wonder, are we going to go this full box without a fake? Well, the end coin of roll number 10 is going to say otherwise because it is a fake. The finish is just very different. This one's kind of dull. 2006, and the queen is off, and this is a camel toe toonie, a fake one. So we're not out of the woods yet, that is for certain. Well, here's another low mint coin. This one is the Jean-Paul Riopel. We can see some of that artwork there. 2023, bearing the double date 1952 to 2022. That's 70 years Queen Elizabeth was on the throne. So it's highly unusual to see a monarch on a coin after they've already passed, but they didn't get Charles onto the coins until later in the year in 2023. So one of the most common questions I get from viewers is, what do I do with all of the fakes that I find? And so first thing I'll just say is that these are so rampant. We believe there are millions of them in circulation, and they are circulating. They're changing hands every day. And so most people are buying things with them, selling things, taking them, putting them in the bank, depositing them, getting them from rolls at the bank, just like I did right now, and have no idea. I, on the other hand, know that this is a fake toonie. It is illegal to possess counterfeits. It's illegal to use them to purchase things if you know that they're counterfeit. And I know that this is a counterfeit. So I've been fortunate. My bank has actually exchanged some of these coins for me in the past. I didn't actually ask to exchange them. I was just in the bank returning a box of toonies, just like this one here, and told the teller that I got a bunch of fakes. And they were like, what are you talking about? I explained how rampant they are. They asked if they could see them. So I brought all of my fakes in just to show, like, here's all the fakes that I got. One of the staff there was like, oh my goodness, I can't believe, like, where did you get these? I said, well, I got them here. These are just from rolls that I buy at the bank. So they exchanged a whole bunch of them, and they've actually done that for me twice now as I try to get this to focus here. But otherwise, the banks aren't really obligated to take them back, I don't think. And they're not necessarily inspecting all the rolls that they get in from customers. They're not opening up every single roll of Toonies just to see what's in it and make sure there's no fakes. For the most part, the tellers can't even tell them apart anyway. Most tellers at most banks just have no idea. In fact, it's pretty odd. They don't even know that the counterfeits are circulating. In any case, I have a whole bunch right now that I just don't know what to do with. If my bank offers to exchange them again, if it ever comes up, I would gladly do that. But I'm not going to roll them up and deposit them. I'm not going to use them to buy things as a quote unquote, air quotes, expert in coins. It would not be ethical for me to do that because I know better. So there you have it. That is the answer to the most common question. What do I do with all the fake Toonies that I get? Well, right now I'm just holding on to some of them until I can figure out what to do with them. I think technically you're supposed to turn them into the police. I just haven't done that yet. I don't know if the police are doing anything about them. In roll 11, we're going to get another one of these 2023 commemoratives. Flip it over. And it's the colorized reappel. That's awesome. We'll put that up with the non-color. So we got a couple of colorized coins now, and we got the pair for both of them. Awesome. Roll number 12, and it happened again. I guess it was bound to. This time we got another camel toe toonie. You can see that malformed foot there on this polar bear. This one says 1996. It's interesting because I think this one's got a very different finish from our other fake. The other one was more of a matte almost. This one is shinier, of course, but you know, this is not a group of discerning mint employees trying to get a specific finish per specification. They're just trying to copy and make as many of these fakes as they can. So I don't think they really care too much about quality control. Roll number 12, and the fakes are starting to rack up here. There's a 1996. There is the camel toe. We're into roll number 15. We're at least going to get a couple finds here because I can clearly see another black ring toonie from 2022. That one looks to be pretty nice, really, really dark. That is awesome. But I also saw at the very end, I am pretty sure we've got a Royal Canadian Air Force commemorative because I can see some planes there. The only question is it the colorized, which is minted at 2 million, or the non-colorized, which is limited to just 1 million? And it's going to be that limited non-color version that it is 2024 non-color Royal Canadian Air Force commemorative. Sweet. Very last coin of roll number 17. One of my favorites. It is the Bill Reed from 2020. I love this coin. This is roll number 18. I'm seeing lots of newer edges in here. There are some shiny newer examples. And the very first coin of the roll here is going to be a commemorative from 2024. And it is the new non-god, and it is in gorgeous shape. Look at that. That might be the nicest one I have found. That's just 1 million minted from 2024. Gorgeous coin. Same roll. There is a very shiny 2017 Vimy. That is in nice condition, and I'm pretty sure I saw one of my favorites, the Bill Reed. I think that's what that's going to be right there. It is beautiful, shiny from 2020. We found some nice ones in here. Absolutely. Still in that roll, and there's another really nice 2017 Dance of the Spirits. Roll number 19, we're going to get a couple of finds that are obvious here. We've got a couple of black ring toonies. That last one at the end looks really nice. And then we've got an edge here that looks just odd and different. So we'll take a look and see what we got there. So there is our first black ring toonie, and that looks pretty nice. That's already our fourth one. This last one is going to be our fifth one, another really nice looking one. And then we had an edge that just looked different than all the rest here. It is this one right here. And it certainly does look very different. It's a 2009. And it has all sorts of damage, environmental damage or chemical damage. And the coloring just looks different on it. I'm going to weigh this and just see if it weighs to spec. I mentioned earlier that there are silver toonies. I mean, I'm not sure if that sounds like a silver toonie. It sounds like a regular toonie, but there's definitely something going on with it. So a regular 2009 toonie is going to weigh in at 7.3 grams. They did make a gold-plated silver toonie, and it would weigh in at 8.83. I got my scale here, so we'll throw this one on here. And this weighs in normally 7.28. So somebody's just subjected this to some kind of, I don't know, I think chemical. It's got some really odd coloring on here. Blue, green, who knows? You can see a little bit of what might be the copper layer there, but it's just a disgusting, filthy, old, discolored toonie. Well, this roll is going to give us another find here, and unfortunately it's not a good one. It's another fake. It is the double date 1952-2002. It is another camel toe toonie, our fourth of the box. So nothing in that last box, another $1,000 of toonies down, and we had a great hunt and we found tons of stuff. I got it all organized here by year, starting with some beauties as far back as 2000, a 25-year-old coin in beautiful shape. We got this 10th anniversary of the toonie featuring Churchill. That's the 2006 polar bear. But we got some other ones we rarely see in nice shape. This 2014 Wait For Me Daddy, and a couple of the 2015 featuring John McCrae riding in Flanders Fields. We got this 2017 Vimy and a couple 2017 Dance of the Spirits, both of them the non-color. Still waiting to see if I can find the colorized glow-in-the-dark version in a coin roll hunt. A couple of my favorites, the 2020 Bill Reed. We got 5 of the 2022 Black Ringed Toonie, a solemn tribute to Queen Elizabeth. Couple 2022 Summit Series, color and non-color. And speaking of color and non-color, we also did that with the 2023 Riopel. We got a couple 2024s. We got the RCAF and we got the Nunangat. I'm still waiting to get the brand new 2025 colorized toonie. Haven't got that yet. But we got to take the bad with the good. We did get some fakes here. I wasn't sure if we would, but we sure did. We got 4 of them. 2 1996s, a 2006, and this double date 2002. I hope you enjoyed this toonie hunt. If you're Canadian, you probably see some of these in your change. Not always as nice as these ones, of course. Sometimes they're circulated. If you're from the States or other places, it's probably fun and interesting to see some of these strange and unusual coins that you just don't see. It's the same feeling I get when I see any foreign coins on videos or in hunts. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching wherever you're from. I always appreciate it. If you've watched this video and you got this far and you're not yet subscribed, hit the button and subscribe to the channel. I bet you would enjoy my videos if you enjoyed this one. I always appreciate you watching. Thank you so much, everybody. We'll see you again next time. The sponsors of today's video are Lighthouse Canada and the Charlton Press. Lighthouse Canada is the leading supplier of high-quality numismatic supplies in Canada, and the Charlton Press is the leading publisher of coin and paper money catalogs and price guides for Canadian collectors. Go check out their online stores today and use the exclusive discount code CRH20 for 20% off all your purchases.